Shalom. Before I begin this video, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Rahab Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that continue to rule very well. Shalom to the whole elect that is plowing in this work, in this ministry, spreading this gospel to the other members of the whole elect in all faith, true sincerity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled, Remember the Days of Old. Because, Spirit has been heavily at work concerning the Hebrew language, in which the Hebrew is a part of our heritage, man. That's the Hebrew language is very important, man. Among other things, because first and foremost, the name of the Heavenly Father is in Hebrew. All right, we have and his son's name is also in the ancient Hebrew. And then we have, especially among our camps, we have Hebrew names. And really, man, that's just us coming back into our heritage, man, because this is something that has been locked away from us due to our captivity, in which it was beaten out of us. All right, but now that we're coming back into our heritage, right? We came back to our nationalities, should I say? Therefore, now we're coming back to our heritage, which one of those things is the Hebrew. All right, that's why Apostle Elder Tohar has been doing shows on the Hebrew. All right, bringing out verses on the Hebrew, because that's just that's something else that's towards your edification, because concerning the things like prayer, anything like that, when you call on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the language that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai speaks is Hebrew. The angels speak Hebrew. All right. So when calling the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and calling towards his name and praying towards his name, you have to speak in the Lashawan Kodash, which Lashawan Kodash means holy tongue, which that's the Hebrew. All right. Especially during the Passover, right? You got the prayers and the blessings and the curses in Hebrew. All right. And also you got in the Psalms. All right. You have the prayers in the Psalms, especially Psalms, the 51st chapter. All right. Which, that's that chapter right there, man. That's it's very, very important, man. For lack of a better term. I can't I can't really put into words how important that is, because that's a sincere prayer towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai for forgiveness. All right. But just to go ahead and get into a few scriptures. This is the book of Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, and the 16th verse. It said, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." All right, and that's right, man. It says, ask for the old paths. Okay. Which the old paths is one of the things, or should I say, one of the old paths is the Hebrew. All right, the language which we used to speak. All right. Which is also the language, once again, is the language of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. It's not, is with these people in the churches, speaking gibberish and, or whatever. All right. The ancient Hebrew is an actual language, man. All right. People don't know that. Okay. Or should I say that's the very first language that was spoken back during the ancient world, man. All right. You had our people speaking it. You had the Hamites, which you would call the Phoenician, right? It's called a Phoenician script. That's like it. Yeah, you have a Phoenician script, right? Which you can Google it and it'll show you the Phoenician, during the time of the Phoenicians, it'll show you how the Hebrew was written. All right, and then you have after that, then the writing was slightly varied and that was during the time of the Assyrians. Okay, when the Assyrians came into power, that's when you have the Hebrew, which is modern day Hebrew, which you see it. If you like, for instance, if I pull up a verse in Blue Letter, you'll see the Assyrian version of the Hebrew. But before that, you had the Phoenician script, all right, or should I say the Phoenician variants of the Hebrew. Okay, but still, it's the same language, man. All right, because you had characters that have been modified a certain way as time passed. All right, but it's still the same language, man. Okay, and that's going into that's actually going into the history of the Hebrew. How the different scripts, the Phoenician and the Assyrian, in which like I said before, if you can Google it and you'll be able to see the different forms of how the Hebrew was written. Okay, because I'm pretty sure there was another one that was written before the Phoenician, but that escapes me right now. That about the info, I got to pull up my notes again to find that out. But just to get back into the scriptures, that's just a little information on the history of it. It says, "Where's the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls." And that's right, man. It is. That's why it's known as the good way. All right, because that's the way that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai set it up in the beginning, man. All right, not only the Hebrew language, but the things which our people did, the performing the services of the Most High, the high holy days, the Sabbaths. All right, which that's known as the good way. Okay, and it says to walk therein. All right. Now I want to get another precept. This is a book of Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter and the 7th verse. It says, "Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he shall show thee, and thy elders, and they will tell thee." And that's correct, man, because the apostle elders have told us about these things, about the Hebrew language, about the high holy days, about the Sabbaths. All right, starting all the way back to the time of Abba Bivens, right, when we started to come back to our nationality, starting with Abba Bivens, right? And then all the way to the point now to where you have the apostle elders that are still teaching. Okay? So that's what they teach us is of the days of old, man. All right? Our heritage. Okay? And it says, "Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee," man. All right? In which the days of old consist of what we did back then in the ancient world. All right, keeping the Sabbaths, the high holy days, the Hebrew language. All right, prayer. Those are the things that's coming back to our remembrance through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay. Now, I want to grab another precept. The 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter in the 1st verse, it says, this second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. All right. See, that's the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai stirring up our minds. All right. Through the men of Great Millstone, started with the apostle elders on down, by way of remembrance, man. All right. Because see, the heritage never left us, man. All right. And there's only a select few out of the nation of Israel is able to retain that information, man, about our heritage. Okay. Because the rest of the nation of Israel, they're not concerned about our heritage. They want to stay being Americans. They want to stay being niggas. They want to stay being spicks. They want to stay being Uncle Tomahawks. All right. They love being any other nation other than the nation of Israel, and that's okay. All right, because being known as an Israelite, you know, that's a high calling, man. All right, and not all Jake is up to the task. Okay, because when it comes to being a Hebrew Israelite, man, it then comes restrictions, and which Jake don't like to be restricted, man. All right, they want to be so-called free, which they're not really free. All right, they're serving under the vibration of death. All right, but we here, who know that we're Hebrew Israelites, us under the umbrella of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the men of Great Millstone, we're free, man. All right, and we're about to be physically free in the future when the Lord Yahushua returns, man. Okay. Now, I want to bring out another precept. The book of Romans, the 15th chapter. Let's see, Slakia. Slakia, bear me for one second. 1 second, Aki. It's Romans the 15th chapter in the 4th verse. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." All right. So the things that are written aforetime written for our learning, man. All right. And you know, going into the ancient Hebrew language, you know, that brings even more understanding to what you're reading, because that's what you have to do, you know, because you always have people come up and say, well, you know, or should I say, whenever somebody comes up with a question, right, concerning, I say, for instance, the name, right, the name of Yahweh, Yahushai. Well, the thing is that you have to go back to the original language to figure that out. All right, you got to go back. Some of the scriptures in the Bible, you have to go back to the original language to find out what the scriptures really mean, or what the verses really mean. I'll give you another example, like John 3:16. All right, you got to go into the Greek in order to figure out what it's talking about. It's not, you know, John 3:16 is not talking about the whole entire planet Earth, man. Everybody that lives here. Okay, it's talking about the nation of Israel. Now, let me go back. This is the book of Sirach, the 1st chapter, and this is this should be the prologue to Sirach. I'm gonna get start from right here. It says, "Wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language." So that's, once again, you got to go back to the original language to figure out what's being written, to get the understanding. All right. And once again, like I said before, you know, the Hebrew, that's our original language, man. not this bastardized language known as English. Okay, the so-called white man's language. But the point in this prologue is that for the same things other than Hebrew and translated in another tongue have not the same force in them. So you might be saying something in English, but it doesn't have the same force as Hebrew, man. All right. The Hebrew language, and this is a fact, man. The Hebrew language is a straightforward language, man. All right, it cuts straight to the point. That's why it stands out among other languages. That's why it's known as the pure language. Actually, let me get that real quick. I know I'm bringing out multiple precepts, but I'm try to close it on out. This it's like not Haggai. This Zephaniah, the second chapter, and Zephaniah, the third chapter, in the 9th verse, it says, "For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, to serve him with one consent." All right. So actually, this scripture is twofold, man. All right, because on the one end, the pure language is talking about the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. All right. And the other part of this verse is talking about the Hebrew. All right, because the Hebrew language is unspotted, man. All right. That's the pure language, and that's the language that Yahweh speaks, Yahushua speaks, the angel speaks. All right. And that language has been set up ever since the beginning of time, man, and it still stands today. Okay, there have been multiple accounts to where brothers have, prayed to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai in the ancient Hebrew, and things have happened, man. Blessings, you're sending up blessings to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Things have happened, sending up curses, against the ones that trouble us to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and things happen, man. All right, so that shows you the force and the power of this language, man. The language which is Hebrew. Okay, but that pretty much wraps it up, man. I don't want to draw this video out too much longer. The point's been made. Lord's will, you members of the Hope Elect were edified by this video. And until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.